Welcome to the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. This is a podcast all about friendly fire and gibberish, where three brothers compete in a quest to be the supremeliest nonsenser. Here are your hosts, Kevin, Corey, and Casey Walker.
Welcome in to the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. This is week 9? Week 9, I think?
Something like that.
Week 9. We're rolling! It's super exciting. Last week we had the B-sides, which came out, and if you haven't listened to that, it's a good compilation of the stuff that hasn't been released yet. So go listen to the B-sides. It's got some of our best stuff that was never released. We were unfortunately all busy last week, and actually I lied. I accidentally deleted our last week. I was oops! But this one I will not delete. So, week 9, here we go.
Well, they won't know if you deleted it or not, because if it does if it comes out, it hasn't been deleted.
Exactly.
But you could have said that, and it could be deleted and lost forever.
It is lost forever.
Was that?
It is lost forever.
Well, this one could be lost forever.
Oh, I'm going to jinx myself?
Yeah, you can jinx yourself.
That is accurate. Well, hopefully this didn't jinx it.
If you're hearing this right now, we didn't jinx it.
You were totally confusing me. I didn't know where you were going.
I'm still confused.
Alright, here we go. We're going to start with serendipity, your random questions that need a happy ending. And to start, I had to ping this one off Dad to help with this question. So, here's the question as it currently stands. Would you rather right now, today, switch your body and continue living your own life? So basically, you switch faces with somebody else. Somebody random, some male dude. Random.
Just faces or the entire body?
The entire body.
Okay.
Your entire body is flipped with this guy. Or have to go back 10 years and live your life over again. And again, this is not necessarily that you just live your life. You can maybe make some different decisions, but for the most part, it's living your life from the past 10 years over again. So it's either choosing monotony or choosing a face swap. So, Case, why don't you answer first?
Well, to clarify, when you go back 10 years, nobody else goes back 10 years. It's just you.
It's just you.
And also, to clarify, if you're switching bodies, it's someone, even though it may be a different body, it's not necessarily like switching with someone who's going to die tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, no. It's just you're swapping bodies. It's you. It's your personality and personhood.
But it's a body that has similar health, I guess.
Yes, your longevity is the same.
Okay.
So, if
a lot of clarification.
If you go back 10 years, you're just going back 10 years in age and everything stays the same around you, right?
No.
Or are you going back 10 years in your life and you have to relive it?
Yes, so basically... You're rewinding. You know everything you know now. You're rewinding 10 years in the past, and you have to live your last 10 years over again.
Boy,
so you're back, we're all back into the Lombardi house, and we're all living in the house.
So do you have like a day to research all the stocks?
No, this is not an investment scheme, a Ponzi scheme to get rich quick.
I gotta invest in Zoom.
Exactly. No,
it starts up in like 2007 or whenever. That's not 10 years ago. This is 2007 was 13 years ago. That's crazy.
This is not that. This is basically you have to pick whether you want to do the monotony of living essentially your same life over again. And that's why I made the clarification. It's essentially the same life that you have.
So you can't change anything. You can't change
all
anything
over
major.
You can change certain small.
Easy. I'd go back 10 years, though. Because then you get to relive all your great memories from the last 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're reliving your life. You're like going back and doing it over again. It's like nostalgia. It's a nostalgia trip, the whole thing.
So basically, all the negative memories that you know are coming up.
Okay.
So you're counting down the days till that one day when you did something really stupid.
That
like
trip.
when you rammed into your
that was before 10 years ago, though. Thankfully.
Well,
I think
have to go back 13
I'm
years.
Clear. Oh, shoot. Now I'm not. Okay.
But seriously, like anything embarrassing in your last 10 years of life, and I know you can think of some stuff, you have to count down the days until that moment comes. And you're like, oh no, it's coming out.
Basically, I'd have to make it through my first 5 years, the first 5 years of that, because that was the tougher time. And the last 5 years since marriage would be great.
I just can't imagine. See, the problem with the last 10 years of my life, it's completely all just my work life. And I mean, I started working before 10 years ago. So it's all it is my work life. And so me reliving my last 10 years of life, basically my entire life is work. So I get married and that's fun. I get to see my kids being born and stuff. But
but that's side stuff.
Here's
the most
important. It's little highlights amongst 8 hours a day of constant work that I've already lived through.
But the great thing is you know that the great parts are coming and you're just like, oh, I can't wait till this part comes again.
Okay, so is it worth it to suffer the monotony for some good highlights and some negative lowlights? Or swap your face? Does anybody want to swap their face? Let's talk about that.
I will swap my face.
Okay, why?
Because I would rather be where I am than go back 10 years.
You'd rather not relive your last 10 years of life?
Yeah, I love the last 10 years of life, but I would rather continue on rather than go back and have the same part lived over again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point in this whole thing is you might have had some great points of time in the last 10 years of life, but you've already experienced it. You're going to have to re-experience it. Life is short as it is already, but 10 years will feel like a long time that you've already lived that point.
If you switch bodies with someone, though, you basically
You roll
have
the
to
dice.
convince your wife. I'm actually Casey. I am Casey. I know I look the same, and you have to like come up with some memory that only you two know. And my memory is so horrible. I don't know if I could do that on the spot.
Kelsey, wait a second. Where did we get married again? I can't remember where it was.
And the other thing I was going to say, too, is that beyond that, you have to, I mean, it might take a year for you to convince your wife, or for her to get used to it at least.
Yeah.
After she's used to it, but you might be in a 40-year-old's body. You might be in a 40-year-old's body.
Well,
is that what
longevity is the same, but that does not mean the old
I made the
factors.
caveat. Are we exactly the same health-wise?
Yes, you're
Which
exactly
means
the same.
What if
Physique is
No,
still...
physique is no. Health-wise being, and I said longevity.
Yeah, but I'm meaning like, okay, are you basically
No.
the same age? Do you not have
No.
any health issues?
No, you don't have any. Like I said, health-wise, you were the same. You're the same.
Well,
as
you
far as the
didn't
person.
clarify that
But
earlier, so I'm going still
this
with
is the
switching
physical
body.
qualities that have changed of your body.
You know-
the physical qualities have changed, so you do not look the same. You could look like a 40-year-old man. You can run the same as you do now, but you would look like a 40-year-old man.
Wow, then see that would be an advantage. I could go into all these races with all these other 40-year-old guys, and I could just beat them.
I was gonna say, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change bodies with a 70-year-old dude, and then I'm going to get a house in one of those like senior developments, and then I'm gonna cream them in all their sports that they
That is a
have.
great point. The best houses are 55-plus houses, and they're so dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Why can't we buy into the 55-plus house? I'm
All
going
right,
to die on that
now-
hill.
now we know what we're gonna
55-plus
do.
housing. Swap with a 55-plus-year-old. So one thing I was going to say, last to wrap up, I would have to unfortunately go back and live, even though it would be monotonous, simply because, sadly, I like the way I look. Change it. So that's the way I would do it.
Oh, this hair, dude. Oh.
I'd lose my hair. My hair would be gone. Anyway, moving on. Would you rather have to give up deodorant for the remainder of your life, or have to only take 2 showers a month? This is a brutal one. Corey, go for it.
So, I would give up showers and take baths.
You would take a bath?
Yeah, loophole. That doesn't count. You can't wash yourself with water for
Yes.
except 2 times a month. 2 times a month, you can
times?
wash yourself with water.
Yes.
So you can't jump into a pool or jump into a river or a lake. Or
You
anything.
can let's make that caveat. Yes, you can. You can go bathe in the river.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will get a house with a pool,
No,
And stipulation is the temperature of the water has to be under 60 degrees.
It cannot be your
Under
own.
60.
Let's make it this way. They've made a stoppage on all of your usage of water. So it has to be somebody else's water, like the river.
Okay, I will move next to someone else who has a swimming pool.
Okay, you're gonna seriously do that just so you can...
I will move next to someone who has a shower, because if it's just someone else's water...
Stop it. Stop it.
Here's Corey. Corey changes bodies with the 80-year-old man, gets into the senior development where they have lots of swimming pools, and then he just goes throughout the development and he like sneaks into their backyard and he jumps into their pool.
Yeah,
There we go.
There we
They're
go.
looking out the window and he's just like, thanks for the use of your hot tub.
As his old, the 80-year-old self, yes. Oh my. Okay, so it has to. I'm not even gonna make any stipulations. So you're basically going to go use somebody else's pool in order to use deodorant for the rest of your life.
Well, if it was that type of thing, I would get rid of deodorant
You'd get rid of deodorant.
and just use soap.
Oh, you can. Okay. So all right. I'll answer this one. I'll let you answer. So, I was having such a tough time with it. I sweat like nobody else's business. I sweat profusely, and it's tough because if I don't wear deodorant during the day, I have bad BO. It's just the truth. But I take also 2 showers a day because I exercise a ton. So I have the problem that if I don't wear deodorant, I stink. If I don't take a shower,
You still stink.
no, I don't stink necessarily. I mask the stinkiness, but oh man, I feel gross. So it's a matter of me feeling gross or somebody else feeling gross around me. I probably would honestly take me feeling gross, so the other person didn't have to suffer. So I'd probably keep deodorant.
Now, I've heard that taking showers or washing less frequently is actually really good for your skin because your natural oils get a chance to stay in there.
And exfoliate.
But the problem is they're oils, so you get all greasy.
Yes,
and,
that's the problem.
I'm gonna give off the deodorant. I want to keep washing. I love my showers.
Do not come near me.
I'll just be a stinky boy.
The advantage of giving up deodorant and just using soap is you get soap. Every morning, you just get your bar of soap. You scrub on, so you get this nice little layer. Then whenever you're sweating, it's like a natural cleansing system. It's the sweat mixing with the soap, and it's like
There you go. Smells like Irish Spring.
We've got some great questions today. You know how you said you'll be a stinky boy? The first part of this question, I said, I'll be a stinky boy. I said, when I first answered this question before I thought about it more, give up deodorant for life. I'll be a stinky boy, but I'll make up for it with 5 showers a day.
It'll just be every 10 minutes. Hey, where's Kev?
I'm
Taking a shower. Oh, wait, no, where did he go this time? Oh, he's taking a shower.
All right, here we go. This one gave me the weebie-jeebies when I answered this one.
Oh yeah, this one.
Pick one. Jump off a 50-foot building into the ocean or crawl through a 50-foot crevice that is barely big enough to fit through. Casey, go.
I've jumped from 30 feet before. It hurts a bit when you get into there, but not too much if you fall correctly.
Yes.
50 feet's a little higher, and I'm sure it would hurt quite a bit. But I would still rather do that than crawl through a crevice, even if it's only 50 feet long. Oh my goodness, I'm claustrophobic. I hate it.
Even talking about it, it's like I just picture it.
Because
it's not like it's like all the way through.
It makes me uncomfortable. Like scenes from movies and things. Like the one that immediately comes to mind is from Inception, where he's trying to get away from some guys,
and he's like squeezing through the alleyway.
Yeah, it's like that tiny little alleyway that's like that wide, and he's just like, no.
See,
Please, no.
That's not what I envision. What I envision is you're crawling through Moaning Caverns, and you know how they have the spelunking tour.
Everything is moaning caverns.
Yeah, Moaning Caverns.
Moaning Caverns.
So you're crawling
This is
through
Moaning Caverns, not a sponsor.
They can be though, very soon.
Yes, Moaning Caverns. If you want to sponsor us.
Well, we're all four. We're already
We'll
at
send Casey to crawl through a crevice.
No. The thing that I envision is like a little hole, and there's somebody right behind you, and then there's somebody right in front of you that you're following, and Big Jerry gets stuck.
Oh.
And then you're in the middle.
You're making it worse.
Sandwich.
Yeah, okay, but before this, that's adding details to this. We don't need to go. So it's just a straight crevice. It's like a small pipe. There's daylight, or maybe it's rock that was our handhold.
No, Big Jerry is in front of you.
I would rather do the crevice.
You'd rather do the crevice?
Yeah, because if you're for one, I'm more scared of jumping off of a 50-foot tall rock or a 50-foot tall building into the ocean.
Yeah, like envision the Hawaii jump
Then-
where they have the 50-foot jumps.
Yeah. See, if you get off though on that would just be painful. It's like, oh no, I leaned back too much. Can you imagine?
You got a few seconds to think about it too.
I shouldn't have done this!
I see. We go ahead.
I was gonna say sort of the same thing like with Casey. I've jumped off of 30-foot tall rocks before, and that was okay. It took a lot of willpower to actually jump off, but even then, you're just slightly off of vertical, and you can still just feel all of this pressure coming up at you. So,
I've jumped off an almost 50-foot rock. Sorry, go ahead. Not even to interrupt. I hadn't done.
oh no, you're fine.
I've jumped off a 42-foot rock. I've jumped off a 42-foot rock when we were on a camping trip, and it was the painful part wasn't like the pressure. The painful part was the slap of your feet on the
Yeah.
You gotta
on the water.
point your feet.
Yeah, it was
Which-
like slap on
If this was the ocean, it would be a little.
And that's why I picked the ocean.
Because it's not
And
just a flat surface where you're gonna hit it like that.
And that was the point I made in this, and that's why I picked the ocean, is because the waves are moving. You're not gonna have the slap. All you're gonna have is a straight down. So
Yeah.
the 50-foot jump, even
gonna
though
hurt.
it's what's that?
It's still gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, but I'm scared to death of heights. But I'm more scared to death of crevices and Big Jerry in front of me sticking in the way and me screaming, shoving him through the hole. Get through there, Jerry! Get through there!
I was getting a little nervous there when you just hearing you talk about.
I know,
like,
it gives you the
going through there.
weebie-jeebies.
It's like, oh no.
That's why I never invite Big Jerry whenever I go.
I remember looking at the spelunking tour and thinking, oh, this would be so cool when I was younger. And it might have been cool when I was younger. The older I get, though, I don't know why. Like, small, tight spaces.
You start realizing more of the things that could go wrong.
Well, the problem is that I don't get taller this way. I get taller this way. And the taller I get this way, the harder it is to the Snyder spaces.
The true reason.
Oh, boy.
Are you Big Jerry?
Not yet, but I might be at some point. Let's hope not. Yeah. Get through there, Cameron! Get through there! Alright, here we go. Moving on to lions, tigers, and snares. Oh my! We have got some interesting ones today. So just a reminder for lions, tigers, and snares, there is one truth and two outlandish lies that are outlandish as the truth. And the brothers have to find the truth amongst the lies. Hannah told me that she helped you with these today, and that
She did.
you're getting rolling. All right, here we go. Lions, tigers, and snares. Oh my, I'm gonna start. Listen up. Listen.
All right, I'm all ears.
T-shirts were invented in 1904, but the first promo T-shirt was sold and produced for The Wizard of Oz in 1939. Okay.
Okay.
T-shirts weren't actually invented with cotton. The first T-shirts were actually polyester T-shirts. Okay.
Okay.
T-shirts were originally used as a way to stop sweat for movie actors who were often on long scenes with costume changes. What's the theme? If you guess the theme, you get an extra point.
T-shirts?
What? Extra point for
Oh
PvP!
my goodness!
Now-
I can't believe I got that right.
I know you're a
Now,
genius.
I have to say, I am impressed because I did the T-shirts theme a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
And
Yeah, I was remembering
These-
t-shirts before, but these are completely different. So
I
we're
know
good.
one of
We're in
these
the
for
clear.
sure is. I know one of these for sure is false, but you did a good job on the other two to where I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the actors because I'm pretty sure polyester was not the first material for t-shirts.
Okay.
I'm gonna go that it was used for the movie actors to keep sweat.
I'll
Away.
say the polyester one.
Oh, we were both
They were
wrong?
invented in 1904, and the first promo T-shirt was sold and produced for The Wizard of Oz in 1939. And it was the
Bummer.
first promo T-shirt.
That would be
Dorothy.
that'd be kind of a cool souvenir item or
Can you imagine the
collectible
first
item.
T-shirt?
This is the first promo T-shirt. Wizard of
That's-
Oz, right on it.
Yeah.
That's what you could do if you went back 100 years and had to relive it.
There you go. Buy that.
Buy your first promo T-shirt.
Have it
I got
signed by whoever played Dorothy.
I don't remember her name. Yes. All right.
Yeah, that's odd thinking about that too, because 1939 was the beginning of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I never think of Wizard of Oz as being made way back then.
Well, it was made before World War II, and it was released right at the start of World War II.
Oh, it's just so weird.
Yep. Weird things.
Huh.
Crazy
Okay.
sauce. Go for it,
Okay.
kids.
The theme of mine is fire.
Fire!
All right. A man was burning garbage in his field, but the blaze got out of hand. In a stroke of brilliance, the man decided to put out the flames by driving over them in his car. Predictably, the car caught fire, which caught the attention of a nearby police officer. And the thing that especially stood out to the police officer was the sound of hundreds of gunshots, because the man had hundreds of rounds of ammunition in the back of his car. All right?
Okay.
Number 2, Robert Wright, a man from Liberty, Missouri, is famous in his local community for his actions when a fire broke out in his apartment complex. Like a true hero, he ran into the building to make sure his family had all made it out safely, and then returned inside to retrieve one more precious item, his stash of ultra-rare comic books. When asked to comment on the incident, he simply said, "Insurance will cover the rest."
Okay.
All right? And Sarah Jacobs, a woman from New York City, was returning to her Brooklyn apartment after work when she smelled smoke coming from her apartment. She opened the door to find a man trying and failing to make popcorn on her stove. Sarah, who lives alone, stated afterwards that she was shocked to see that the man had broken into her home, but that he had not stolen anything. His reason for breaking into her apartment? "I live 2 floors up and I don't have Netflix. The door was unlocked, so I thought it'd be okay if I watched a few episodes while she was away."
Oh man, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. You go. Do you want to answer on that one? I'll answer what you think about it. That last one was brilliant. I think that's got to be the truth. If you made that up, that's brilliant. The first one was brilliant too. The
I
first
know.
one was
I
fantastic.
keep going back and forth between them.
No, the first
If-
one and the last one were the best.
If you're saying the last one, I'll say the first one.
Okay.
It was the first one, driving over the
Okay.
flame with his car.
Did you make it the last
I
one?
made up the last
that
one.
was good. Well done, sir.
Thank you,
well
thank
done.
you,
That was very funny.
Very
I
creative.
liked it.
The second one, the last one I completely made up. The second one, I modified. He actually rescued his dinner, which was ribs. And he actually was famous in his local community after that, and got to throw out the first pitch for a local minor league team.
It was Ron
Of course.
Swanson, wasn't it?
With a hand full of ribs and the ball in the other.
Do you know who I'm talking about with Ron Swanson?
Yeah, from
It-
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec?
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking
So
about.
real quick, I'm gonna do a segue. So Ron Swanson is known for he's very conservative and he's like or libertarian. Government should stay out of our business and meat, ribs. He's very much like that. I can totally see him saying like grabbing the ribs and saying insurance will cover the rest. Ron Swanson.
So did he actually say insurance will cover?
No, I made that one
Oh.
up.
That was a
He
good
did go in and rescue his ribs though.
That's awesome.
All right. So my theme is railroads.
Okay.
First true fact. In Japan, the trains are so punctual that if they are delayed by more than 5 minutes, the staff will personally apologize to the passengers, and if it is delayed by an hour, it may even make the news. True fact number 2. If you add up the total length of railways in the world, the length would be equivalent to going around the world 6 times. True fact number 3. The first self-propelled train engine was to be powered by a combination of ethanol and beer, which were widely available. However, only one engine was ever made before steam engines took over the market.
That last one is off. There's something. The beer.
Yes, it can't
No,
be beer.
no gentleman would be pouring his beer into the train.
Beer was a commodity that was too expensive to be fueling.
Well, just as a side note here, just for historical reference, Rockefeller, so J.D. Rockefeller, when he was getting into the oil industry, he had started to grow his empire. Henry Ford, the very first car that he invented, was supposed to have an engine that ran off of beer.
Really?
Because everyone had beer in their homes. Beer was so widely available. Rockefeller ended up pushing hard for the Prohibition and was a huge supporter of the Prohibition to get rid of beer because he had gasoline, which was a byproduct of oil, that he couldn't get rid of. So the gasoline engine had just been invented, and so he was really pushing for that. So the very first Ford cars actually were going to have switches that had one for beer and one for gasoline.
Can you imagine going in and grabbing a 6-pack? You're like, here, buddy. Look.
Little fuel.
Can you imagine? That would have been so valuable if everyone just has their own little corn plot and their own little still. It's like, oh, I'm just growing my own fuel here. That's crazy.
I see that the thing that I think is true about it is the Japanese one. I know how punctual Japanese people are on everything, and that's got to be the true one.
I'm pretty sure that one's the correct one as well.
Yep, you guys are true.
Yeah,
They were good though.
So one clarification. So on this one, I said the total length of railways in the world would circle the world.
Probably
in
more,
6
right?
times.
Yeah, it's gotta be more.
Just the U.S.
Wow.
would circle the world.
That's
6
crazy.
That's nuts. Yep. Just because they have oftentimes dual tracks going back and forth, and then you got.
Well, Corey and I were actually just looking at some satellite imagery, and there's like 4 tracks right next to each other.
Yeah, that's crazy. Welcome back after the intermission and some wee music that you probably didn't hear to the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. We were just exploring Hamilton because it is now officially my favorite musical of all time, bar none. Even better than Les Mis.
Even better than Les Mis?
Dude, it's better than Les Mis. I love
I'm not
it.
sure about that.
I love it that much.
I'm not sure about
Sound of
that.
Music.
Better than, well, by far and away better than Sound of Music.
Sound of Music is actually a really good musical.
Better than Sound of Music.
I mean, it's not a Broadway
Hamilton.
musical, which is what you're talking about, I know, but Sound of
Hamilton
Music is really good.
Is brilliant. It is fantastic. They did a fantastic job at combining modern day rap and hip hop and show tunes with this completely accurate. Like, we looked up everything they sung about, and everything is completely accurate. They used, and this is Dad's point because Dad watched it too. He's like, how on earth did this guy write in all these completely sophisticated, historically accurate words into rap and make it all rhyme? That's the most difficult part.
I will say rap is the correct genre to be using for a lot of complicated words because it's more about the rhythm than the rhyme.
But it all rhymed too, and that's
what's really impressive.
It was truly impressive. I love it. 10 out of 10, actually more like 11 out of 10. Go watch it. Go see it. You guys need to watch it and see it.
All right.
The end. All right, here we go.
On my list.
Not a sponsor, by the way.
Yes.
Again, Hamilton, if you want to be our sponsor,
we will
gladly accept.
Yeah, we'll not decline. So here we go. So we are moving into Mayhem Matchup, and before we go, Casey has a new format that he has created for Mayhem Matchup, which will be quite interesting.
We're not abandoning forever the old format. We're gonna make it into a different. We're gonna have several different formats that we're gonna visit.
Hence the reason it's called Mayhem Matchup.
Oh yeah, it's mayhem.
It's the testing grounds for games that Kevin Case think that they can win, but still get beaten down.
No, I will absolutely, completely confirm my superiority to you because, yeah, I'm not even going to address that.
Because there's nothing else I can say to defend it.
Hey, I was going to say that because we deleted last week's episode and there was nothing on there except for me winning, of course.
I need to say, last week was such an incredible victory for me. Kevin got 0 points.
Actually, I think I figured out how
7 points or something like that.
No, it was a complete obliteration. I don't think Kevin even got a single point.
No, he didn't.
There's no proof of this. Show me proof.
Well, exactly. See, I think I found the reason why we're missing last week's podcast.
No, you can't prove it.
It lined up very conveniently.
Hey, this is a country of laws. The law is innocent until proven guilty.
And we have other laws of friendly nonsense, beat down everyone else.
There's no cult of cultural or general opinion.
No holds barred.
Alright, Case, go for it.
So, the way this is going to work, I have 5 questions. Okay, well, they're not questions. They're 5 stories. And each story I've left something out, a fact or something that happened in the story. And the goal is for you to fill in the gap and give me what happened in this story. Now, you can interrupt me at any time when I'm telling the story by raising your hand or buzzing me. And I will stop talking. I'll give you a chance to answer the question. Now, you might not have even heard the whole thing, but you can answer it anyway. If you get it right... Listen, kids, if you get it right, you get 2 points.
Yay!
If you get it wrong, you get -1.
Boo! And you made it so they could read it properly.
Yes, and if you
-1.
yes, I did it correctly. If you buzz in the middle of the question, I will, and you're incorrect, I will finish the question or story, and the other brother will have a chance to answer.
Okay.
Okay. For the same stakes.
All right, here we go.
2 points if you win, get it right. -1 if you get it wrong. All right. So. Okay, Kevin. What is the answer? Okay. 2 Welsh tourists got drunk at an Australia zoo, swam with the dolphins, let off a fire extinguisher, and stole this species. Alright, what is it, Kevin?
What is a porpoise?
That is -1 point for Kevin.
I'm answering it like
Let me finish it. And stole this species of flightless bird.
So, do I just have to say...
What is the species of flightless bird that they stole?
Okay.
No, you can't finish the question. Cord buzzed before you finished the question.
I finished the question.
I was just clarifying since I get one shot at this.
Oh, nice.
I am going to say...
Delay.
Emu.
And you are also incorrect. The correct answer is...
Wait!
You don't... No chance.
What is a penguin?
No, chance is past you.
What is a penguin?
You both get -1 points. We're moving on.
So is it a penguin?
It is a penguin.
Yes, I was
Okay,
right.
I was gonna do penguin, but that's just such an obvious answer. I'll just say some other time.
I get +2.
Corey played himself.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
I just
-1
want
for
to
both
feel
of
better
you.
before I can.
Okay.
Nice.
For which of the following reasons did a low-level Taliban commander give himself up to U.S. troops? A. He was alone and dehydrated and was hoping the U.S. troops would give him water. B. He wanted to claim the $100 bounty for his capture.
B. He wanted to claim the bounty for his capture.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yes!
ding! Correct! Kevin takes the lead, 1 to -1.
You are going with me.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, how many questions are there in total?
5.
Okay.
So we have 3 more. Yes, this Taliban officer in the brilliance of his mind, decided he wanted $100 and turned himself in so he could get the bounty.
I've actually heard that one before.
Well, there you go. You got a benefit.
How is that cheating? I know the answer.
-2.
Oh, nice.
All right, third question. A man from Nashville, Tennessee, thought he was dying from a heart attack and confessed to committing this crime 17 years previous. He received life in prison. What crime did he commit?
What is too much love in his heart?
No.
What is murder?
Correct.
Yes! Seriously?
Correct.
Seriously? That's gonna be way more. Oh man, okay, I see where we're going with this.
For too much love in it.
I knew that was the answer, but I have no idea. He claimed to have a heart attack.
So I have 1 point. You've got 0 now.
Yep, Corey takes the lead.
Bummer.
All right, question
here we go.
4. There's 2 more questions. A man from Iowa City stole the driver's license of a bouncer at a bar. Later that day, the thief was arrested for presenting the license as his own ID to which individual?
The bouncer.
The bouncer at the bar. That is correct.
That's good. That's good. All right.
So,
I'm going to answer the bouncer.
too late.
Tied up. Comes down.
It's not tied up. Kevin actually has a lead of 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
It's
You're
2 to
right.
1.
All right.
But
This could
it's
be
anybody's
your
game.
format here, Kev.
It's anybody's game. All right, here we go. A 64-year-old man did not like the fact that an AT&T truck had parked in front of his driveway to conduct repairs. So he flattened their tires with what type of weapon?
Sword cane.
That is incorrect.
Yes! Dun, 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 dun,
Alright,
dun,
but
dun,
what-
dun,
your
dun,
answer,
dun, 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 dun. It doesn't matter.
Kevin, wait, no,
you
okay,
have to answer,
here.
You have to answer.
You are 2 ahead now. So there's no way for you to lose. But to make it more interesting, I'm gonna say you can pile up the brownie points. If you get it correct, you get 3 points. If you get it incorrect, you get -2 and you tie Corey.
I have no idea what the answer to this question is, so I absolutely will not take the brownie points, and I will take the victory so I can go
And
out.
Kevin takes the coward's way out.
Yeah!
For the victory!
But he does have to.
Alright, here we go. No, I'm gonna answer.
He's not
Here we go.
doing double or nothing on this, but
Okay.
at least
gonna
get
answer.
-1 on this.
He's gonna answer.
I'm gonna answer.
All right.
What the type of weapon you said?
What type of weapon did you use to
A
fight?
knife.
Incorrect.
What was it?
The only logical answer, a revolver.
A revolver. See, I would never have gotten that. If I didn't get. Woohoo! I would
thinking about it afterwards. I'm like,
weird.
sword cane for a 64-year-old guy. That'd be a little hard. I'm sure it's hard.
Nope.
That's pretty impressive. Going up to an AT&T truck parked in front of your driveway.
So, where's my bopper? My grand bopper. There it is.
Alright, Corey,
Oh, you
Corey,
nice.
get yours down. You don't get to protect yourself. Oh, okay, hold on.
I am the
Corey.
champion.
You got, there you go. Alright.
Alright, no more gloating for you, bud. You are a loser.
First loss.
Is that your first loss?
That is my first
Oh,
loss.
well, that feels better.
I was undefeated until today.
That makes me feel so good. I didn't care about winning, I just cared about you losing. Alright, here we go. Moving on to the friendly nonsense beatdown. And for a reminder to everyone, not that I have to remind you every time, but I'm going to, the friendly nonsense beatdown is we have an opening argument, a rebuttal against the brothers, and a closing statement. Today, we are arguing for the worst place to be stuck for a month. And here's a stipulation that I'm going to make moving forward. Last week, the one that I deleted, we talked about the best state. And you said a state of happiness. So from future episodes, you can do anything you want. That's the Friendly Nonsense of V-Town. Interpret the question at will. If you think the best state to be in is a state of happiness, then you can choose a state of happiness.
As long as the argument is good, we're good.
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
So
loopholes it is.
Yes, indeed. Worst place to be stuck for a month. Here we go. The worst place to be stuck in a month is a vat full of jelly. That is the worst place to be stuck for a month. Because there are several reasons why. Number 1, it's sticky. Number 2, it's sticky. And number 3, it's sticky.
Oh.
That is the worst place to be stuck for a month. Can you imagine being coated in jelly in this giant vat for a month? Being sticky?
Now,
That would be miserable.
is it really that bad? Or I'll wait to rebut. Okay.
Yeah, no
I'll wait to
rebuts.
rebut until later. All right.
And
I'll
we're gonna
hold in my
you're
heart.
gonna go last because you're impatient. You need to learn patience. Corey, go.
Alright,
I'm sorry.
I was debating, after you said we could do any format, I was debating whether to switch. I think I'll just stick with my previous one. I'm going to say Antarctica is the worst. Because if you're in the middle of Antarctica, you are in the middle of cold, you're in the middle of ice, there is nothing to keep you company, and there's not even anything really to look at besides white snow.
That is
Nice.
That is miserable.
Thank you.
Antarctica.
I'm glad you agree that mine is better than a vat full of jelly.
It's not the better than the vat full of jelly. But okay, go, Casey.
All right. Mine is clearly the best. The worst place to be stuck for a month is the toilet of an airplane.
How can you even get stuck there?
That's not what the question asked. Worst place to be stuck for a month is in an airplane bathroom. So it's tiny, for one. It smells bad. And you have people constantly coming to the door. Like, you've got this line of angry people waiting for you to get out of the bathroom. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm stuck in here. Let me in.
So okay, so when you said the toilet of an airplane, I thought you literally meant in the toilet of the
that would be really bad, though.
I was like,
you know, no, I was
Oh my god, it's impossible.
I was thinking an airplane bathroom.
Okay,
Because
that's
the
not as
toilet-
bad as an airplane toilet. The airplane toilet.
I would maybe disagree with that, because an airplane toilet, you don't have to deal with angry people.
You're just get flushed out of the back of the
So it's
plane
just
when you did.
gross and horrible, but it's not psychologically horrible. Okay? Alright, so rebuttal. Jelly is tasty. And being stuck in jelly would be actually kind of cool. You get to swim in jelly for a month.
It's in a vat full of jelly. A vat is like a large bowl.
Hey.
You can't swim in a large bowl.
You can wade around in there, okay? And stickiness really only comes into play when you're touching other things. But if you're just touching jelly, you're all good. Now, Corey, Antarctica. The thing about Antarctica is you could go in the summer when it's not as bad, and there's actually other people there. There's a support system when you're there at the scientific lab, and you. Honestly, if you're stuck there for a month, you could be in with other people for a month. And the camaraderie you'd have some nice fun. You'd pop that champagne and toast the penguins walking by your door. It'd be a great time.
Alright, Gore.
Alright. So, since I'm not defending my own position here, I will just rebut against yours. Along the same lines as what Casey said, Kev, if you're in a vat full of jelly, the way that you solve it is your diet for a month has to include a piece of toast at every meal. And then you just, by the end of that month, the only thing left in that vat full of jelly is just this tiny little layer at the bottom, because that's your food for a month. So that I see as a benefit, is you're in a vat full of jelly and you've got a food source. Casey, in a bathroom in an airplane. See, the advantage there is it's temperature controlled. So you're not freezing, you're not boiling. You can still get up and move around. It's cramped. It's not that fun, but it's not the worst. So it still has some perks.
All right, here we go.
And you could talk to people through the door. Those angry people, you could tell them jokes while they're waiting. You would get to be a great conversationalist.
I'm going to address yours, Corey. Antarctica, in an effort to be the first gym ever on Earth to place a gym in every continent, Anytime Fitness has a gym in Antarctica. There is a hotel in Antarctica. There's a lot to do in Antarctica that you don't realize. So Antarctica is not the worst place to be stuck. There's plenty to do in Antarctica, including research on polar bears and penguins.
So is this a verified fact?
Where are you getting
there's a
this
hotel in
research?
Antarctica?
Yeah.
There's no hotel on Antarctica.
Okay,
Not like a hotel. There's like
a
the
note to
research
our
station.
listeners.
It's a research lab.
It's a hotel.
That is far different from a hotel.
Yeah, it's essentially a hotel
Only-
for the research people.
Only scientists. Yeah,
There is an Anytime Fitness in Antarctica. I know that by fact. So,
And Anytime Fitness, I'm good. I'm
Not a
question on
sponsor.
that one.
no, there is. I promise you.
But
I owned
if
many
Fitness
Anytime
wants to
Fitnesses.
sponsor us, you know.
I owned Anytime Fitnesses for a long time, and there was an Anytime Fitness that just last year got put in Antarctica.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
a huge big deal.
Alright.
So
Okay.
that is that. There are plenty of things to do. It's not that bad. Casey, for yours is worse than Corey's. I will give you that. I would not want to be stuck in an airplane bathroom. However, the thing that you have not factored in is that you have water and toiletries right there at your disposal. You've got your restroom right there. You've got all your amenities that you are absolutely essentials right there in your little cubicle. You have a desk if you put the toilet seat down. You can do your work right there. You're set. Now, my closing statement. You guys have not factored in, and I'm not going to go deep into this, restrooms into this whole equation. So you're talking about eating the jelly that you're sitting in for a month. Don't think you'd want to do that. The second thing is, you are sticky for... It's not just... You made the point that if you touch other things... Dude, you realize as soon as it gets in your little elbow pit, you start moving that, it's like...
Just rub more on.
Oh, I hate being sticky. Oh, yeah, just that. Yeah, nasty. So stickiness is just... I would hate being sticky for a month. Sticky, 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 nasty, nasty, nasty. The end. Go.
So I'm not even gonna go to the disgusting side as you. With Antarctica, far and away the best. Or no, best.
Yes!
The best
Hooray,
option
we
for the
agree!
worst. Antarctica is by far the worst because, for one, I clarified that it's the middle of Antarctica. It's not right near the edges where all the
Not near
research
the
is going
hotel?
in. So it's in the middle of Antarctica, which always has freezing temperatures. It's never pleasant, even in the summer. And you have the very likely possibility that you will be stuck there for far more than a month. You may not ever make it out of there because you may freeze to death.
That's not the thing,
So,
though. It's
For a month.
For
You
a
have to
month,
live
you're
through
stuck
this
there.
month.
And then you
Yes. So you'll live through the month, and then the next day you'll die.
No.
You'll get gangrene. You have to chop off your legs and your
go. You
arms.
survived.
And your neck.
Okay.
And
None of
the
this-
tip of your
None of this
nose.
morbid.
Imagine going through your life with the tip of your nose missing. Antarctica, far and away the worst.
Okay, Casey, go.
All right. Imagine sitting
Imagine if you would.
in a
sounds so serious.
small
Imagine.
enclosed area. You're 6 feet tall. You can't stand up all the way. You're constantly hunched over. Angry people are knocking on the door. They're saying, "Hey, dude! Why are you taking so long?" And you say, "Dude, I just gotta go, man. Give me some time."
A lot of time.
And you have these people yelling at you. The flight attendants, you're enemy number one to them. Never be on the wrong side of flight attendants. Okay?
They know kung fu.
As a
And at the end of
clarification-
this month, you come out, you have to have a cane for the rest of your life because you're so hunched over from spending a month in the airplane bathroom.
Okay, clarification question. So,
Which planes have you been flying?
Clarification question on this one. So I know I love how the flight attendants are banging on it. Flight attendants finally decide to put their finger in there and kick over your lock. Are you now super glued to the toilet because you're stuck in there for a month? They're trying to rip you off the toilet. Get up! And you're like,
The toilet seat stuck to your rear for the rest of your life.
What I'm wondering is which planes have you been flying in that you've had to be hunched over and can't stand
This
up?
is a budget flight, okay? This is a budget flight.
It's a
You went to save some money, and you spent $50 on your plane ticket to fly to New York from California. And so the flight attendants are already mad at you because
they're only
they
making
don't
a
wanna
couple
be
bucks
there.
on this flight.
Exactly, and then you're in their only toilet on the flight. Everybody is in pain and angry.
I like all the details getting out of there.
Yes. Oh boy. All right. So we're gonna wrap that up with that. Some
All right,
great ones.
Real quick, let's tell our fans
Go
to
you can vote for me.
Yes, go to friendlynonsensebeatdown.com and vote on the poll to tell us who won this week's Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. Again, that's friendlynonsensebeatdown.com.
You got it. Yep. friendlynonsensebeatdown.com. That is it for the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. Corey, what are you gonna learn tomorrow?
I am going to learn some survival tactics for when I visit Antarctica.
Okay. That's a good one. I am going to get up the gumption to take Fat Jerry through a crevice with me. Not 50 foot, but maybe like 20 foot.
Oh,
Yep. Gonna conquer my fear.
expanding,
Conquer fear.
conquering.
Yep. What about you, Casey?
I gotta learn how to drink water properly.
Okay. That's great. All right.
Good to know that you haven't been drinking it properly for the last 20-something years there.
He's been drinking it through his nose. That's it for this one, and we will see you next week. Take care.